Hey guys, it's me, Seren, back with another video brought to you via the iPad. This video is one that I've been meaning to make for a while. I actually made another version of this video that was more like a rant that I uploaded it, but I never posted it. I could always post it. Maybe I could post it after this one if you guys want to see the rant version of this video. But really this video is going to be about this concept of black on black crime. Late Sunday night, because it's Monday morning now, I'm recording this video before I go to work. Late Sunday night, I was actually sent on Instagram, someone mentioned me in the comment section of this post of Diddy that he put on Instagram. Osiris the God, you go for pointing this out to me. And basically Diddy had wrote this long parable Bible verse, Sunday school scripture about black on black crime. About, recently in the past few months, we've seen a rise in injustice at the hands of the police, which we haven't seen no rise in shit. We've seen a rise in media coverage. Cops haven't all of a sudden started killing black people. They didn't all of a sudden start killing us in 2014. We just saw a rise in media coverage because black people started protesting and tearing shit up. So let's not underestimate the power of a riot or a protest. But I'm not going to go there. So he's like, in the past few months, we've seen this rise in injustice enacted on us by the police. But let's not forget that black people are enacting a genocide on ourselves and we are killing each other and blah, blah, blah. And then he was like, I applaud rappers like Common, Kanye West, and Kendrick Lamar for discussing black on black crime. I'm like, oh, Diddy's a coon. Diddy's a part of the coon brigade. So you got Coon Man, you got Kanye West, you got Kendrick Lamar, and now you got Coon Diddy. What's a good one for Diddy? Y'all got to think of a good one for Diddy. We'll just call him Coon Diddy for now. You're a part of the coon brigade. I see. I am so tired of having this conversation about black on black crime. So tired. Black on black crime does not exist. Black on black crime is a myth, okay? I put a post up on Instagram, and my friend Prime Discussion, Adam, also put a post up, a similar post that said, his post said, let me read it, I have it here, black on black crime, there's no such thing as black on black crime. There's crime and there's no crime. Black Americans haven't created some special brand of super murder, which is exactly what it is. There's no such thing as black on black crime, and it's really, really easy and simple to understand, okay? Black on black crime, I'm going to read you guys what I wrote in my Instagram post. The myth of black on black crime was created by white supremacy as a way to keep black people distracted from racial injustice enacted on us by white people. When people start talking about black on black crime, be they white or black, it is a distraction, it is a deflection tactic to stop people from talking about racial injustice enacted on black people by white people, okay? Period. All crime is proportionate to race and neighborhood, i.e. whites kill whites, Asians kill Asians, etc. I want to make this really clear because this seems to be the part that most confuses people. All crime is proportionate to race and neighborhood. The majority of crime is intra-racial, aka it's between members of the same racial group, and is not interracial, okay? So, crime is directly related to race and neighborhood, aka proximity. So if we live in the same neighborhood, the neighborhood that I'm very familiar with, because crime is also related to familiarity, you're not going to drive into a neighborhood that you don't know the escape routes, you don't know the houses, you don't know the roads, and commit a crime. You're probably going to commit a crime where you feel comfortable. So I'm most likely going to commit a crime in my comfort zone. Now that may be my neighborhood, that may be the area where I work, something like that. And 9 times out of 10, people of the same racial group together. They live together and they work together. So you're going to have this effect where the majority of the crime is enacted on people in your neighborhood, and the people in your neighborhood are most likely going to be of the same race. The same concept also applies to when you commit crimes on people, even just random strangers. We gravitate together, we group together, we flock together. Human beings are animals and we do have animalistic natures. that we like to be with people that are like us. That's it's human nature, it's animal nature, it's something that we do. So the majority of crime, like I said, is related to race and neighborhood and is intra-racial and is not interracial. 86% of white murder victims are killed by other white people. 92% of black murder victims are killed by other black people. So that difference is very, very minute. It's very small. 86% versus 92% is nothing. It's essentially the same. Black people are not just out here, wilding out, killing each other the way that people want you to believe, okay? You want to know something that is disproportionate? The media coverage of black on black crimes, okay? Studies have shown that a black on black murder has a 30% higher chance of being covered by the media than a white on white murder, okay? So even though blacks and whites kill each other about the same, there's a 30% higher representation of black on black crime in the media, which leads to this really common misperception that black on black crime is a thing, it's a problem. It's not. It's not. Black on black crime is not a thing. Black on black crime is a myth. Black people do not kill a disproportionate number of other black people. You want to know who black people kill a disproportionate number of? We do kill a disproportionate number of white people, which is completely under-fucking-standable at this point in time. I will say that that's understandable. We're not killing each other. We're out here killing these crackers, which... even if we did kill a disproportionate number of other black people, which we don't. But, I'm just going to play along. I'm just going to play along and say that, yes, black on black crime is an epidemic, even though it's not. There are underlying reasons as to why crime is rampant in black communities. And those reasons all also go back to white supremacy. You have tons of people that what they love to do is talk about an effect, but not talk about a cause. They want to talk about Baltimore riots, but they don't want to talk about the murder of Freddie Gray. They want to talk about destruction of property, but they don't want to talk about the fucking non-indictment of Darren Wilson. They want to talk about how we're protesting and we're saying Black Lives Matter instead of All Lives Matter, but they don't want to talk about the fact that 12-year-old Tamir Rice was murdered in a park, okay? You have people that love to talk about an effect, but they don't want to talk about a cause. You want to talk about how crime and murder and homicide and violence is running so rampant in the black community and how we need to stop killing each other and how we need to love each other because Diddy pulled that one out. He pulled out that coonman ass card. We gotta love each other. Love is not going to get anybody out of the ghetto. We're not loving each other out of the ghetto. And I put that on Instagram too. I said, black people do not kill a disproportionate number of other black people, but even if we did, which we don't, examining the reasons behind crime in black neighborhoods goes back to underlying problems within our communities caused by white supremacy. And those problems include lack of jobs or educational opportunities, are being forced to live in impoverished ghettos, as well as are being instilled with a sense of worthlessness, which I've talked about, for example, in my education videos. You have black kids that are going to these schools that are instilling us with a sense of worthlessness from day one, telling us that we're not shit, that white people are dominant, that we're never going to be shit. You have these schools that accelerate us, this school to prison pipeline that accelerate us into lives of crime. You have us trapped in these neighborhoods by zoning and districting and redlining. Look at my video about Jackie Robinson West, where we can't get out of these neighborhoods. You have us being impacted by systematic and institutionalized racism, so we can't get jobs or educational opportunities. You're putting us in a bucket or in a barrel, right? The common saying is black people are like crabs in a barrel or crabs in a bucket. But no one ever says, cause and effect. How did the crabs end up in the barrel? How did the crabs end up in the bucket? A bucket or a barrel is not the natural habitat for a crab. And once you get the crabs in the bucket or the barrel, they're just trying to survive, and they will do anything to survive, right? And that's the way that we are as well. But no one wants to talk about that. People just want to point fingers and say that black people are killing each other, which is simply not true. It's not true. We do not kill a disproportionate number of other black people. However, again, even if we did, There have been so many initiatives formed to combat black on black crime. That black on black crime is actually at the lowest point that it's been in 10 years since the crack epidemic of the late 80s and 90s, okay? You have the My Brother's Keeper initiative formed by Barack Obama. You have all types of initiatives that have been formed by the NAACP and Jesse Jackson, even though I know how most of us feel about him. You have the Quest Bridge initiative, which was formed by actor Jesse Williams. You have, what is it? It's called like some type of guns down. It's called Guns Down something. It's an initiative that Snoop Dogg is a part of, where he goes around talking to the youth about gang culture and how it's not productive, okay? Black on black crime is at the lowest point that it has been in 10 years. People are doing work. There are lots of initiatives. Just because you haven't heard of it, Diddy, because you don't do shit except write parables on Instagram and spend money, doesn't mean that people are not addressing some of the issues with violence in the black community, okay? No. You know what kind of violence is on the fucking rise? White on white crime. White on white crime via mass killings, mass shootings, and serial killings is on the rise and has been for the last 4 or 5 years, okay? You have a higher chance, if you're white, of course, you have a higher chance of being killed by a white male between the ages of 18 and 36, than you do of being killed by anyone else, okay? Because white males are a problem demographic, which I've talked about multiple times now, but no one talks about it. No one talks about it. No one talks about white on white crime. No one talks about mass killings, mass shootings, serial killers, which are on the rise. It's been proven. It's been statistically proven. Instead, they want to talk about black on black crime, which we're not killing a disproportionate number of other black people. The state of being that we're in that is leading to violence and drugs and gang problems goes back to white supremacy, and there actually have been multiple initiatives formed to address violence between black people that's actually driving the murder rate down. So what are these people fucking talking about? What are these people talking about when they talk about black on black crime? They're agents of white supremacy, dead ass. I read this shit on Diddy's page and I was like, damn, these rappers are really, look at that. I was like, damn, these rappers are really agents of white supremacy for real. Like out here trying to like spread this white supremacist bullshit, because that's what it is. There's no type of critical understanding or thought about critical race theory or what's really going on or what are the real issues or what can we do to fix the issues. There's just this like blah, 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 black on black crime, and we got to stop killing each other. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? What are you talking about? You really want black people to stop killing each other, Diddy? I got some shit you can do. I've been reading a lot about economics and finance. One of the main components of successful economics and finance and business ownership is investment, right? And especially angel investors. An angel investor is someone that has a lot of money, like millions of fucking dollars, that invests in a business, in an up-and-coming business. It can be anonymously, which is what makes it an angel investment, or it can be, you know, just as a donor, as a sponsor. And basically, it's just money that you give away without the intention of getting it back. So it's not like I'm going to invest this $1 million in your company and you have to pay it back to me. It's an angel investment. It's a gift, okay? Black businesses do not, on average, get angel investments. We just don't, you know? And we have so many black millionaires and billionaires, Jay-Z, Beyonce, who I've talked about before, fucking, Nicki Minaj, Rihanna, Diddy, who have the money, who have the resources, who have the finances, who could angel invest. Boxcar Grocers, which was a black-owned grocery store, an all-natural, like an organic, like a Trader Joe's, Whole Foods type. It was a small grocery store that was open in Atlanta. They opened it in a bad neighborhood, aka in a black neighborhood. And, they were like, we're trying to there was no grocery store in the area. There was just a bunch of like fast food spots and corner stores that sold like shitty ass food. So they're like, we're trying to like bring good food to the area and, maybe revitalize this part of the neighborhood and do it, ourselves. They ended up having to close because the sidewalk in front of their store was broken. And since it's in a bad, aka a black neighborhood, it was not a priority for the city to fix, right? So they had trouble getting foot traffic because the sidewalk was all fucked up. They went to the city said it would cost $20,000 to get the sidewalk fixed, and the city didn't have the money. So they tried to crowdsource the money, but they weren't able to make enough, and they just weren't getting enough money in from the store, so they ended up having to close it. They still have a website. Of course, I'll include all types of links for you guys. Diddy, you want to fucking improve a neighborhood and stop black on black crime? How about you angel invest in Boxcar Groceries? They only need $20,000 to get the sidewalk fixed. What is $20,000 to Diddy? Nothing. How many of these celebrities did we see fucking courtside at this Pacquiao versus Mayweather fight where they spent hundreds of thousands of dollars on this fight? My husband was telling me how, like, they made, like, what was it, $100,000 a second or something like that off this fight. Millions. Meanwhile, black people trying to open a grocery store can't even get $20,000 to fix a sidewalk. Don't write these fucking parables on Instagram about black on black crime and how we need to fucking do this and do that. No, come to me with some solutions. Angel invest in some businesses that are actually trying to improve the community and provide the community with jobs. Because if you fucking give them the $20,000 to get the sidewalk fixed, you angel invest $100K in their business so they can grow their business. Now we have a business where maybe they can hire a staff, where they can give some black people, some black kids in that community that don't have shit else to do, they can give them a job. So instead of them gangbanging out on the corner or selling drugs or killing each other, now they have a place to go, they have a job. There are solutions in place, but these people are not really interested in solutions because they're agents of motherfucking white supremacy, okay? And I just put, I'm sick and tired of dumbass people parroting this rhetoric about black on black crime with no critical understanding of the real issues. We love to talk about how black people are crabs in a bucket, but a crab's natural habitat is not a bucket. We will do anything to survive in this bucket, so stop with the fuck shit. Which is really how I feel. Stop respectability politicking black people. Stop. Because we are the only people that when we get killed, we rush to fucking take responsibility. Oh, you killed me, but it's my fault because I don't respect myself and because I killed another black person, even though white people kill other white people all the time, even though a white person walked into fucking Sandy Hook Elementary School and killed 20 little white kids, even though a white dude walked into the movie theater and fucking shot 72 white people in Colorado and killed 12 of them at the Dark Knight Rises premiere, even though white people kill each other all day, every day, you don't see white people running out to say, well, the bad things that happen to us are our own fault because we fucking kill ourselves with fucking serial killers and mass murders and mass shootings. Black people are victims of white supremacy, and we really have this concept of worthlessness, of us feeling like we not shit and we just have to take responsibility for everything. And I'm not doing that. I don't do that, and I don't want you guys to do that. Fuck Diddy and fuck this shit. Black on black crime is a myth. It's not even a thing. All crime is proportionate to race and neighborhood. Period. White people kill white people at damn near identical rates as black people killing black people. But we don't talk about the epidemic of white on white crime, even though white males are a problem demographic that kill each other in mass killing sprees, right? Let's talk about that. Let's talk about that. Or if we're going to talk about solutions, let's talk about some solutions, which Adam, prime discussion, like I said, he did the post, 86% of white murder victims are killed by white offenders. And then he put, there's no such thing as black on black crime. There's crime and there's no crime. Black Americans haven't created some special brand of super murder. People commit crimes based on proximity and opportunity. It's common sense. You're not a murderer, but you're most likely to kill someone you interact with on a regular basis, which would 9 times out of 10 be another black person for black people, or another white person for white people, or another Asian person for Asian people, and so on and so forth. Cut the bullshit with these black on black crime questions like you're laying down some major trump card. Now, if you'd like to discuss what makes violent crime more prevalent among the black population, I'm all ears. Let's talk about complex generational trauma, aka post-traumatic slave syndrome. Let's talk about the school to prison pipeline. Like I said, we get enrolled in these school systems that don't give a fuck about us and push us into the judicial system. Let's talk about residual and ongoing impact of the crack epidemic, which is proven to have been engineered by the American government, etc. For once, I'd like to hear someone come at me discussing the root causes instead of the symptoms. We love to talk about the effects, but not about the cause, okay? Black on black crime is a myth. It's not a thing. There are initiatives, lots of them, to combat black on black crime. to the point where black on black crime is at the lowest point that it's been in 10 years. White on white crime is actually the type of crime that's on the rise. It is a silent epidemic. And if you want to talk about the things that lead to, again, drugs, drug dealing, gang banging, poverty, all that goes back to white supremacy, okay? And all that goes back to things that we need to do to rebuild our communities, like Angel Invest. But you don't see none of these celebrities saying, oh, I have an issue with black on black crime, so let me angel invest $10 million in Jesse Williams' Quest Bridge project. No, you just see them write this empty shit on Instagram, and you see all these dumb ass coons underneath. Yes, speak on it, preach it, tell it, because they think that's gonna protect them. Y'all know how I feel about that. That coon shit not gonna protect you from a bullet, bro. Please read about angel investing. It's really, really interesting. But it also is really sad. It will make you very sad and angry that more rich black people don't do it. But then they want to talk about, oh, we have all these problems, but they have no real desire to make a solution. It's very annoying. Black on black crime is not a thing. It's a myth. All crime is proportionate to race and neighborhood. I'm just going to keep on saying that. Whites kill 86% of other whites. Black people kill 92% of other black people. I'm sure Asians kill 98% of other Asians because fucking Asia is extremely homogenous. But, you know, it's like black people just love to make all of our own issues our own fault. We love it. We love taking responsibility from white people and making shit our own fault, you know? Well, white people are killing us, but we're killing each other, so it's okay. How does that even sound? You don't see no other race doing that because it sounds fucking crazy. It sounds insane. That would be like the Jews saying, well, the Germans are fucking killing us in the Holocaust, but we were born with brown eyes and brown hair, so it's crazy. And it's really just a symptom of our victimization by white supremacy and how internalized we have these concepts of feeling that we not shit. And I just refuse to participate in that fuck shit. Think about it. Food for thought as always. If you guys do want me to put up the rant, it's very angry. It's like me screaming. It was when those Kendrick Lamar fans were like going nuts in my comment section talking about a lot of bullshit. I'll post it so you guys can see it. But it's basically the same thing as this video, just like angrier. Food for thought as always. See you guys next time. Black on black crime is not a myth. You look, see? Blah, blah, blah. It's early in the morning. Black on black crime is a myth. Black on black crime is not a thing. Peace.